Hello, and welcome to Slow Talk English, the podcast for learners who want to speak with more confidence and joy. I'm Lena, and I'm here to guide you, step by step, day by day, toward speaking English more naturally. I'll speak slowly and clearly so you can follow along and repeat with me. In today's episode, we'll talk about something simple yet deeply powerful: how to practice English every single day, even when life gets busy, even when you feel shy, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. Many believe they need to move to the UK or America to speak fluently, but that isn't true. If you want to be wealthy and happy for the rest of your life, learn this lesson well. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. From my experience, income rarely grows beyond personal development. Sometimes it jumps by luck, but unless you grow to match it, it will always return to where you are. Life has strange ways of balancing things. If someone gives you $1 million, you'd better become a millionaire quickly so you can keep the money. Otherwise, it will surely disappear. Someone once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everyone, it would soon end up back in the same pockets. Success is not something you chase, it's something you attract. So instead of running after success, work on yourself. Personal growth is the foundation, because true happiness doesn't come from what you get, it comes from what you become. Now, if you feel inspired and ready to change, let me share 3 steps to begin a transformation, one that can change your life, your personality, and your lifestyle. Here are the steps. Number 1, find out how things work. To truly change your life, you need ideas. There is nothing an idea cannot change. My mentor, Scholf, taught me the real problem isn't the problem, it's the lack of an idea. At first, I didn't have any money. I said to Mr. Scholf, I don't have any money. He replied, that's not a problem. You see, until that moment, I always thought it was. I was confused. He said, no, the real problem isn't money. The problem is the lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It's not the lack of money, it's the lack of ideas. If you get the ideas, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need to study constantly, to keep finding out. If you want to be successful, study success. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. Don't leave it to luck, make it a study. Some people move through life with their fingers crossed. That won't work. You must study the things that can change your economic, social, spiritual, and personal life. And Scholf also said, when you discover something that works, write it down in your journal. Don't use your head as a filing cabinet. Write everything down in your journal so you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it again and again. And if you keep reviewing it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea will take root, begin to grow, and show up in your bank account, in your appearance, in your personality, and in your lifestyle. Now, if you're curious, let me share 3 ways to discover how to change anything, any direction, any dimension of life. Here are the 3 ways. Number 1. Read. All the successful people I've met and worked with around the world are good readers. Their curiosity drives them to read. They must know. They read and read and read, becoming self-educated. Standard education gives standard results. And you can check those results for yourself. If that's enough for you, fine. But if you want to go beyond that, you must become self-educated. You can learn through your own experiences, but you can also learn through the experiences of others. One book could save you 5 years if you read it. Did you know there are books on becoming stronger, more decisive, a speaker, a leader, a person of influence, on developing your personality? Did you know that hundreds of successful people have written their stories in books, explaining exactly how they did it, yet so many never read them? How would you explain that? You don't need to read half the night, just remember this. Read 30 minutes a day. Every day, read something positive, something challenging, something inspiring, something that teaches you. At least 30 minutes a day. That's all it takes. Become a good reader. That's my opinion. Listen to others, listen to me, and make up your own mind. Don't be a follower, be a student. Here's the second way to find out how to change your life. Listen. Spend time around successful people and really listen. You can also learn from those who aren't successful. Take notes from both, the negative and the positive. Find out what unsuccessful people read and don't read it. That's good information. Learn from what doesn't work, but also learn from what does work. Be around successful people. Listen to what they say and how they say it. It matters. Now, here's some of the best advice I can give you. People with less should take people with more out to dinner and just listen.
That's truly one of the best ideas I can share. But you're right. It doesn't happen often. People say, he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. I'm not paying for that. And that's why they stay behind. If someone isn't doing well, one of the first things they should do is find someone who is and offer to buy them dinner. Poor people rarely take rich people out to dinner. Now, here's the third way to discover how to change your life, and that's to observe. You can gather countless ideas simply by watching. Spend time around successful people and watch closely. Here's why. Success always leaves clues. Watch how a man shakes hands or how a woman responds. People who succeed do certain things repeatedly, again and again. And if you're observant, you can notice them. Watch everything. If someone earns $10,000 a month, I'd watch how he walks. Maybe that's the secret. Copy that funny little walk. If someone says, "That's a silly walk," you can reply, "Maybe, but it's worth $10,000. You might not have the money yet, but you've got the walk, and it has to start somewhere. What I ask of you tonight is to be uncommon, a keen observer of everything happening around you. You can notice ideas that could change your life, starting tomorrow. Just become a more attentive observer. And remember, there are 2 ways to see. The first is sight, seeing with your eyes. The second is insight, seeing with your mind. When you see with your eyes, you notice things. When you see with your mind, you find answers. Use both your eyes and your mind. Let them work together. And the best advice for developing both sight and insight is this. Pay attention. Pay attention. don't miss a thing. Wherever you are, be fully there. Excellent. Now, we've stayed a bit long on the first point of personal development, finding out how things work, but it's important. I've given you 3 ways to discover how. Now, here's the second step in personal development. Number 1 was find out how things work. Number 2 is go to work. If there's one thing worth getting excited about, it's this: your ability to make yourself do what's necessary. What could you make yourself start doing tomorrow that might change everything? There's no limit. That's what makes life exciting. Any day, you can completely shift its direction. Here's the key to discipline. Begin with small disciplines. Get excited about those little steps and start immediately, because the small ones lead to the big ones. You can't handle life's big challenges until you manage the small ones. Make a list of the things you can already do, then act on them. Discipline yourself for both the results and the strength it builds. Practice daily so that when life presents a big challenge, you'll be ready. You'll already have the muscle for it. But if you ignore the small tasks, you'll never master the big ones. Here's another essential part of life change: self-motivation. Key phrase: self-motivation. I don't even know why we call it that. It's the only kind there is. You have to motivate yourself. Don't hand that power to someone else and depend on them to drive you. Someone might say, "I just wish somebody would come along and turn me on." But what if they never show up? See, you need a better plan for your life. Now is the time to act on what you've learned. Don't let your learning stop at knowledge. That only makes you a fool. Let your learning lead to action. That's how you become wealthy. And there are many kinds of wealth, not only money. In fact, money is one of the smallest forms of it. I know people with plenty of money who are still very poor. Now, here's the third step to personal development, and this will complete it. Step number 3 is a simple caution, and through life, we need a few of those. This one says, don't try to beat the system. Find out how it works. Follow it, but don't try to cheat it. Some people learn just enough to start cutting corners, slicing, shading, thinning, always looking for shortcuts or cheap answers. Don't fall for that, because it leads to a cheap life. Learn how it works best, and do it that way. Even if it takes a little longer, do it right. Never compromise with what's right. If I could have a word with you tonight, just you and me, here's what I'd say. This year, reach deep inside yourself. Find more of those remarkable human gifts waiting within you. They're there, ready to be used. Then change whatever you wish to change. And I challenge you to do it, because you can. You never have to be the same again after tonight unless you choose to be. Starting tomorrow, what will you do to change the direction of your life? It's a good question. What will you do beginning tomorrow that truly makes a difference? Because if you don't do something starting tomorrow that makes a difference, guess what? Everything will stay the same. And that means you already know what the next 5 years will look like. Just look at the last 5. The next 5 will mirror them, unless tomorrow you decide to change everything. Or change a little, or change something. Or don't change at all. It's your choice. You can do whatever you wish. But isn't it amazing to know that on any given day, you can completely change your whole life?
Thank you for spending your time with me here on Slow Talk English. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and keep learning with us, one slow, steady step at a time. Keep going. Every word you practice brings you closer to confidence.